Hey guys, Tempo Storms Redact here. Today I've got a video guide for you on Nepal village callout maps. This is the village stage. We'll get straight into it though. So we got the spawn here. This one we got the upper spawn, and we got the main spawn area. You won't be doing too much fighting here. It's easy to just call this whole area sort of spawn. But we got the upper spawn here, which is actually one of the more important upper spawns because it's the quickest way to get to the top side of the map. But here we'll call this one house on its own. Again, not a very important one. This one generally doesn't get used too much. Every now and again you'll have people hiding there or playing there, but seeing as it doesn't have a med pack or anything with it, it's pretty forgetful. It's easy to call this one just house, but call it a day there. But then when we start to come in here, we'll come in from top. So this whole area we'll call this top. Up here, everything here. So it's quite a bit to bring in just under top. So we'll just call this is inside top, or inside their top, inside our top. And this area itself is just top. Then when we come over here, this is bridge. So even though the top isn't the highest area of the map, there's no real feature to call it from or anything here. It's just easy to call it top, and it's a single syllable name, easy to use. It's a really important area, so you need easy names like that. But again, we got bridge and we got on top of point up here. You can say they're behind on top of point or their side of top of point sort of thing if they're playing around specifically. But otherwise, just this whole area is top of point. So we got pit here, even though this isn't the lowest area. See, this is lower here. There's lower areas down there as well. This area is pit mostly because it really feels like a cornered in sort of area. You get shot down on pretty easily in here and get trapped in. So it's easy to call this pit, and it's again single syllable, easy to use name. And we got inside pit for the building inside here. You can say their pit med, our pit med for each side, or their pit, our pit, their inside pit, our inside pit, or you can even say they're coming from pit, so you know they're pushing in this way. We'll loop around to here. We got behind pit here, and then here we're going to have main. This whole thing here, I'm going to call this main, mostly because it's the main way to come in. It's not the, it's generally the most used way, apart from maybe top as well. But it's a really big open doorway. It's easy to call this main. It doesn't really have an arching sort of thing. You can call this arch if you really want, but otherwise it's pretty easy to call this main. Say they're coming into main or they're next to main, going out main, they're at their main med sort of deal like that. Down behind here in this little corner, even though there's a big med, we'll just call this their outside med. Because it's right on the edge, outside near the cliffs where you can easily die like this and go over this side. It's just call this outside med, and it doesn't get used too much when it comes to immediate firefights. So we're coming in the mid here, or the main, sorry. And this area here, we'll call this hut. It's a little hut off the side. It's really important because it is the main access to some of the upper ground beside the point. But it's easy to call this area hut here. Call this one ledge because it's a little ledge on its own on each side. You can say their ledge, our ledge sort of deal like that. Up here we'll have behind stable, because this building we're going to call this stable. Up here it doesn't look like a stable, so we'll call it on top of stable up here. Down here, this is why we call it stable. You can see there's everything here to make it a stable, even though it's on a cliff for some reason. But we'll call this stable because it's pretty much a stable. It doesn't have a specific other name to call it. And it's actually pretty clear to call this in front of stable when you mean down here, inside stable when you mean down here, and behind stable when you mean this sort of med pack area down here. A lot of the stuff on the point, you'll notice you'll call it left side, right side of point, but it's pretty tricky on this map, mostly because a lot of the time you do want to hold the upper ground. Let's say holding up here for bridge, and they come in, suddenly they're down there, you guys are up here over here, left side of point and right side of point becomes this and that. It's pretty confusing when something like that happens, or you got someone coming from main, they say left side, right side, you're coming from top, left side, right side, and then you start to confuse calls. So it's easy to just go their main, in front of stables, below bridge down here, and their main. But otherwise this should mostly cover the map here. It does have quite a few pathways into middle. You can get away with calling things left and right sort of, but the problem there is if this is main, and generally does get accepted as the main thing, if you call something's left, there's 1, 2, 3 doorways with a general area down here. And on top of that as well, again, if they come through main and go this way and you call left, that could mean anything down here still, or it could mean up here even. So it's really important to be specific about the callouts where in this map, rather than just left and right, even though it is a King of the Hill map and it is symmetrical, so a lot of stuff you can try to call left and right, and it does feel right to call left and right. It generally will end up being a lot of confused comms and unclear stuff. But either way, that's stable. There's a point, and down here we haven't actually visited, so may as well just for the very end. There's the point itself. There's an entrance on each side. You've got an entrance under bridge and an entrance coming in from stable. So if they're pushing in one way to the point, you can easily say they're coming from stable when they're coming in this way, or you can say they're coming under bridge when they're coming in this way. And behind here, the med as well. Whilst you've got the main area here, you can easily say they're behind their main, or their main med when it comes to behind here, or they're in front of their main when they're coming right out over to here. And when they're pushing in through, they're coming through main. And this is probably the only part where you can really call left and right, is when you're defending from, let's say, this sort of an angle, and then coming in main, but they haven't quite pushed in. You can say they're left side of main and right side of main sort of deal. Swapped it around for the other side of the map, obviously, but left side of main, right side of main, everything like that. But otherwise, hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. Thank you very much.